Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's California EDD Unemployment Q&A Live. I realized that we haven't talked very much about what to do if you get the notice that your PUA unemployment documents were not accepted. I especially feel responsible to share this information in case people used my How to Write an Affidavit video. A lot of times the California EDD is actually letting people know that their documents weren't approved either by error or mistake. So if you sent something that you know was on the list of approved PUA proof of self-employment, employment, plans to be employment, work documents, and you get the notification that your PUA unemployment documents were not accepted and that you need to appeal, before you actually appeal, please do call the California EDD and say, hey, I'm pretty sure that the documents that I sent you should be accepted. Can you please look at that again? You might need to have a tier 2 representative look at that for you. Sometimes the first tier 2 rep isn't very helpful and you actually have to call again. Remember, the California EDD just changed their customer service hours of operation. They are now only open, well, sorry, technically they're open till 8 through this Thursday. And then starting Friday, they're only going to be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and they're going to be closed on weekends now. Let me also get right into the next question that you guys usually have for me, which is, has Jenny Silver gotten her notification that her PUA proof of self-employment documents were accepted or not? And she has not yet received that information. It's so annoying. But so if you're wondering if it's normal to have not heard anything from the EDD about if your documents were accepted or not, yeah, it's pretty normal, pretty common right now. Thank you, Debbie. I'm so glad that you're the first like Debbie. I have my pen and paper ready. I still haven't looked into that other calling service, the EDD calling service that is Claimer's competitor. And since the EDD is changing their customer service hours of operation, it's probably going to be just as hard to get through to the EDD now as it was before. So if you do need to call to check on your documents, it might still be a good idea to use Claimer. So I did just drop that link in chat, and I always have it linked in my comments down below. Andy is hoping that the Ukraine is going to live forever. That's a interesting way to say it, but yes, of course, I do as well. And hope everyone has a wonderful day. Yes, please. When he spelled love, like using all the different flags together. That is sweet. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that sentiment. I did have, sorry, I'm going to switch back. My heart goes out to the people in the Ukraine, and I wish them safety and health and all of those things. I feel like I'm not educated enough to really speak on that. But yeah, obviously my heart just goes out to them. Even potential, yeah, let's switch to movies, which we're gearing up for The Batman. It's weird that it's called The Batman, but I guess it's called The Batman. I got to make like a special, like a playlist for the movie, and I was pretty excited about that. I think you can follow people on Spotify. I've never used Spotify before. Licorice Pizza is still doing really well. I'm going to forget the worst person in the world. That's not it. That is a really good movie for us right now. What the heck is the name of that movie called? I'm the worst. A lot of times I'm in the office, like doing work. Okay. Yeah, no, I got it right. The worst person in the world. So that is supposed to be a really good movie. And then Belfast was nominated for a lot of awards. Drive My Car was nominated for a lot of awards. Dang it. I don't like when these people like make like hacking comments. That's the worst. Okay. So yeah, and then yeah. So I think that's it. The worst person in the world is still really probably like our best performing movie right now. And then we're just all gearing up for the Batman. We're going to put the Batman on almost all the screens, and I'm pretty excited about that. So that's what's going on with movies. What else did I want to say? We talked about PUA documents. We talked about Jenny Silver has not received her notification yet. They are still accepting applications for rent relief. They're very behind on it. In yesterday's stream, somebody commented that they applied in September and they're just now getting their funding. So I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of my viewers applied in November. Maybe a lot of people probably tried to stay current on their rent. Maybe they were able to save some of their unemployment benefits. Those ended in September. So that was September's rent was good. Then maybe you had enough saved up for October. But by November, people really needed help. And they're just now finding out now that they've been approved for rent relief, but they are still accepting new applications for the rent relief program. It's just taking a while. They will help with future rent. They might ask, are you at risk of experiencing homelessness? And if this is true for you, you could say like, oh, I was able to stay current on my rent, but now with everything going on, I'm worried that I might experience homelessness if you're not able to help me. Let's see what else. Debbie asks, are we still checking COVID credentials at the theater? And we are. We're still required to. I am in the actual city of Los Angeles, not just the county or anything. So it's like the city proper. And they still have us checking proof of vaccination. They did just drop the indoor masking requirements for fully vaccinated people, though the city is following the county and the state guidelines on that. Thank you, Felicia, for asking. My day was good. I hope everybody else's day was good as well. But while we're talking about the requirements to come into a movie theater, for anybody just tuning in, I manage a movie theater as my like regular 9 to 5. It seems like a good time to mention exclusion pay and supplemental sick pay. Supplemental sick pay has returned in the state of California, and it's actually retroactive to January 1st of 2022. So that's supplemental sick pay. That's just for employers with more than 25 employees. There's something else called exclusion pay that's also still in effect in California. That is for if you were exposed in the workplace and you got like a letter excluding you from work, or if you actually caught it from work and you were excluded from work due to a positive case. So exclusion pay has to originate from the workplace in order for your employer to need to pay it to you. And that actually is for employers with less than 25 employees. And the burden of proof to show where you got it is actually on your employer. It's not on the employee. I don't know if a lot of employers know that though. And the supplemental sick pay, that covers more reasons for being out of work, like getting vaccinated, recovering from the vaccine, caring for someone who's recovering from the vaccine, and your exposure. Like if you do test positive, you can have caught it anywhere. That didn't have to be in work. And if your employer has more than 25 employees, they would need to pay you supplemental sick pay, and that's retroactive all the way back to January 1st of this year. Okay, Felicia says, Q&A, a bit random. Well, sometimes they're a bit random, and I actually enjoy that. I like actually not just talking about the EDD, so let's go. All right. You've been stuck on a train for 6 hours and all the bathrooms are closed. Never had to pee so bad in my life. What's the worst you ever had to pee? Girl, find a bottle. See if somebody on that train has a bottle. I feel like we shouldn't even talk about it because that's just going to make you have to go more. I mean, haven't we all like peed in our pants like on accident at least a little bit? Oversharing, Shelly? Could be, could be. I hope it doesn't get that bad for you. Maybe you've got like a sweater you can tie around your waist. Once when I was in the 3rd grade, that happened. We were on like the merry-go-round, and these boys were like, I think that they don't even allow merry-go-rounds anymore. Like playgrounds are like super like safe now. It's weird. But I was for sure on a merry-go-round in the 3rd grade. And I was like, I need off. I have to pee. And this boy was like, kept spinning it. And I for sure peed my pants on the merry-go-round and then had to tie a sweater around my waist. So that for sure happened. Kids are kind of cruel to each other sometimes. Anyway, Felicia, 6 hours. Like, when are you getting off? Find somebody with like a big gulp, girl, and then go and find another lady for sure. Like, I'm wearing a sweater right now. Another lady will for sure hold her sweater up so that you can go in a cup. And I'm sorry that I'm suggesting going in a cup, but if it's bad, like it's bad, go in a cup. Nobody's judging you. I don't care. If you're stuck on a train for that long, why is there no bathroom on the train? That's not okay. I'm sorry. And I hope you're off the train soon. And I'm sorry. Hopefully that conversation didn't make your situation worse. I hope you can hold it, but I'm sorry that you have to. Okay. As Valdo says, and I love taking questions outside of unemployment. I really do. I have to figure out how to transition the channel eventually and start talking about other things. So yeah, whatever you guys want to talk about, it's up to you. Osvaldo said, I had the word I'm trying not to say on YouTube on 1/7/22 and was out for 10 days. Can I still get paid for the whole 10 days that I was out? So that's going to depend. Keep in mind, right? This would just be for your regularly scheduled hours. Your employer does need to have more than 25 employees. I'm going to see if I can pull up a document in like 2 seconds because I can share my screen now on this program. I figured it out. I'm real proud of myself. Probably not the whole 10 days, quite honestly, because they're going to take the average of your hours. And like right now, there's some days where I work like 10 or 12-hour days. And so I'm glad that I'm hourly. I used to be salary. But most of the time, even if you're scheduled an 8-hour shift, they take out like a 30-minute lunch break. And you're probably not going to work 10 consecutive days. So any days that were regularly scheduled for you, so maybe like it's going to depend when you got it, right? But yeah, so like if you would have worked 4 days and had 1 day off and then another 4 days and had 1 day off, like maybe your employer would only owe you like 8 days of sick pay at your average hour. So it might not be the whole 10 days, but yeah, it's supposed to be retroactive. And I'm going to pull up something in a minute. Stick around, Osvaldo. That's going to go and I'm going to share my screen and then like you can see all the information that I'm looking at and share it with your employer. Hi, Diamond Pikachu. Diamond Pikachu is saying, you know what, there might be a woman who has a really good diaper or pad or something. I don't know, girl. If you gotta go, you gotta go. You gotta figure it out. Osvaldo said, I also got my EDD reversed from disqualified to qualified. You are so welcome. Aw, thank you. I try to make sure that I give you guys the best information. It is not always. Sometimes I get it wrong and then I feel real bad about it. But I always try and I do always research the information that I'm giving you. I wanted to say something else. About 1099-Gs and unemployment taxes. I'm on another Facebook message board about unemployment. And yes, I'm not a tax professional. And so it's always going to be better to get your information from someone who is a tax professional. But here's what's up with getting the extra $300 boost taxed. That's not taxable on the state level. No unemployment benefits are taxable at the California state level, not your weekly benefit amount, none of it. But it's all taxable on the federal level. The California EDD was only like equipped with their computer programming and system to withhold taxes on your base weekly benefit amount, which means that when the federal government is deciding if you owe money or not, the extra $300 weekly boost is and was taxable that entire time. That does not necessarily mean that you're going to owe on your taxes. Because remember, most of us are going to, at minimum, get the standard deduction. So with the standard deduction, you may not owe anything. If you went back to work, then it's possible that you would owe something. It's not necessarily because of the $300 boost, though. Like most of us, if we're working, even minimum wage here in California is now $15. If you're working close to 40 hours a week regularly, just working is possibly going to put you in a higher tax bracket. So 10% may not quite be enough if you've returned back to work. And a lot of people, if you're doing 1099 work and W2 work, that often, even forget about unemployment benefits, that often results in you owing a little bit. Not always, it really depends on your situation, but sometimes. Joel, that is interesting, but I'm going to try not to comment too much on politics. I do want to talk a little bit about, I want to find out more in one moment about that exclusion pay. So Linda says PUA documents that must be backlogged into oblivion. Yep, that is quite possible. Hi, Vanessa. You used to change your nephew's diapers daily and you don't miss that. Yeah, we're talking. Felicia is stuck on a train. She's been stuck on a train for 6 hours and she's got to go. We're trying to figure out creative ways that she might be able to make that happen. W says, is it true that EDD got rid of all the extra help that existed during the time of elevated claims? Call center hours have been reduced. They're cut backing on staffing. They still need to check PUA documents. So yours is up on screen. So I'm actually going to share a screen on that in 1 second. Let me pull up the good old California EDD news release. Oh, they sent out 2 today. About what? Oh, what? Oh, they sent out 3 news releases today. But most of it is about them increasing multilingual service. They are giving money to help people displaced by the Northern California wildfires, and they're giving money to organizations to provide job training and career development to underserved job seekers. But I'm going to share my screen on this one. And yes, so they haven't mentioned anything about, there's going to be a way to highlight this. How do I highlight? Okay, hold on. Let me share it first. Let's get it together, shall we? I'm going to share my screen. Still takes me a second to do that. Share screen. And, oh, no, that's not it. Okay, so here we go. I don't know if you can see, I don't think you guys can see my mouse. So I'm sharing my whole screen with the weird part of the EDD news release. So this is from February 11th under this section, processing unemployment claims and helping customers. I already know exactly what section this is going to be in, so I'm going to kind of skip down here. It doesn't say that they're reducing their staff. Up in this section, it talks about call volume is down 47%. So they're saying, hey, we're not getting quite as many calls anymore. So it should be okay that we're reducing the call center hours. That part is true. I actually just made a video on that yesterday. And then it says they'll be shifting those hours to weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. That starts March 3rd. So they're done answering the phones on weekends and shifting the weekend to focus on resolving claims. So basically, they're not saying that they have let go of any of that staff that they hired on, but they are saying that they want them to focus on resolving claims. And then, as if this makes us feel better, they're telling us call centers were open weekdays, 8 a.m. to noon before the pandemic. Well, the guys at Claimer, right? I kind of looked into him and his information. He was saying that he was like, Shelly, he's like, there's always going to be a need for our service. Cause I was like, hey, what's going to happen like after unemployment benefits end? And he was like, oh no. He was like, the EDD did not have things together even like beforehand. So he was like, they're not going to, have it together now. Let me try and do another question while I find out the thing that I want to share about the exclusion pay and the supplemental sick pay. Samantha says, I submitted documents in November and never received an approval letter. So I called and she said it's been looked at and resolved. I guess they're forgetting to let people know they're okay. That definitely could be true. I will say that I recently reached out to my contact at the EDD, and he said that they're still going to be sending out notices. DE 238 notices is, oh, no, dang it. I don't know how to share that. I was going to try and share my photo album, but I don't know how to do that. And it says, nope, that's the thing about the call center. Where is this thing? Da, 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 da. Did I not screenshot it? I must have. Come on now. All right, hold on. I can figure this out. Nope, maybe I can't. Okay. But yeah, they are really bad at letting people know. Okay, this is what that DE 238 letter should say. It should say, and I'm quoting, the documents you submitted to substantiate that you were or planned to be employed or self-employed prior to the start of your pandemic unemployment assistance PUA claim meet legal requirements and no further action is required at this time. So my contact is still saying that you should get something in the mail. But with that said, like a lot of people actually have said that when they call, that they're saying, oh yeah, we can tell it's been approved on our end. We don't know why you weren't told that. Okay. Oh, I don't want to do this one. L25. My heart just goes out to them. I think that what is happening there is just so scary to me. Anytime anything like that happens, like that's just it's really scary to me. I am in the process of trying to find the information on supplemental sick pay and how it works when it's retroactive and everything. Ooh, I got an itch on my ear, guys. Okay. All right. I'm looking up Anthony Zaller. He is a lawyer. And once I find what I'm looking for, I will share it with you guys. He's so good. Okay, that's exclusion pay. He keeps doing articles and they are really, 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 really helpful. Where in the heck is it though? Legal updates, deadline. I feel like this is just dead space. Okay. There's your employer is supposed to put it up in the break room, like actually some information about it, about the supplemental sick pay. He had like an FAQ. Where in the heck is that thing? And then once I find it, I'll share the screen with you. I wonder if I could just share my LinkedIn stuff with you guys, if that would be bad. Maybe we'll try this. Okay, I'm going to share a different screen with you guys. I don't know. I don't know if I don't like even the word danger. Like I'm so like I'm a peacemaker. Hard work today. Lots of standing but your feet feel fine. Gotta love Dr. Scholl's or how I know what you mean. Also, I'm not always the best speller. And so I'm working on my spelling. Okay, I'm going to share a new screen with you guys. All right, stop sharing. And now I'm going to share something else with you. Share screen. I think it's this. Nope, maybe it's not that. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to share this and we'll read it together. That'll be fun. All right, I'm going to take a drink. You guys know that means to please like the video. I'm sorry if I'm dull tonight. I feel at least like fresh and rested. Oh, thank you so much, L25. Yeah, Oof. Very, very, very scary. Okay. I'm going to share this labor commission thing with you guys about the supplemental sick leave. Okay. There's a poster. There's a FAQ. I never know whether to call those FAQs or FAQ. What do you guys call them? Okay. Here, this is in bold. What? Okay. If the employee is requesting retroactive pay for leave that is available only if the employee or qualifying family member was positive, an employer may request documentation. This documentation could include, among other things, a medical record of the test result, an email or text from the testing company with the results, a picture of the test result, or a what the heck is that word? All right. Contemporaneous text, a contemporaneous text. I do not know what that word means. Or email from the employee to the employer stating that the employee or qualifying family member tested positive. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Maybe we should go through this one by one. No, maybe I should make a video on this. Okay. Nope. There's a poster. Yeah. Okay. The labor commissioner's facts provide how employees can make requests. Okay. Okay. This is the part we need because you want to request retroactive supplemental sick pay. And guys, I'm sorry. I'm like reading this on like the tiny screen. That doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll go back to this. Okay. Employees who have taken leave from January 1st, 2022 through February 19th, 2022. For one of the reasons covered under the SPSL, the employee may ask for payment for this leave on or after February 19th, 2022. So that is now. It's after February 19th, 2022. The Labor Commissioner's FAQ number 13 explains, for example, we need to find that FAQ and then I got to make a video on it. For example, if a covered employee had to take 2 hours off for a vaccine appointment on January 15th, the employee can make an oral or written request to the employer to be paid for that time off in January, because that is a qualifying reason for taking 2021 COVID-19 supplemental sick pay leave. The oral or written request must be made on or after February 19th, 2022. A request made before February 19th doesn't count. If an employee is unable to make the request themselves or has difficulty locating an employer to provide proper notice, they may contact the Labor Commissioner's office, which may be able to provide assistance. After the employee makes the request, the employer will have until the payday for the next full pay period to pay the retroactive 2022 COVID-19 supplemental sick pay. Supplemental paid sick leave on that payday. The employer must also provide accurate notice on the itemized wage statement of how many 2022 COVID-19 supplemental sick pay leave hours have been used by the covered employee. Whew, that is a mouthful. Okay. What else is in here? What kind of documents are acceptable? I want to see that fact. I'm going to email this to myself, guys. Ooh. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to copy that and I am going to, I've got my little notes up here. Make myself a note. All right. I'm going to go visit that website later and let's go back to that other page. All right. I don't know what just happened, but anyway, so that's about the supplemental sick paid leave. And so you're going to need to request that in writing. Osvaldo, I hope that you stuck around to hear that answer. So yeah, Osvaldo, I'm going to put your question back up on screen so that everybody else knows why I was talking about supplemental sick paid leave here in California. Okay. Where am I in the comments? Okay, Linda says, I had an office job while I sat all day and my buns always got sore. They should have Dr. Schultz for that. I think they do. They make these like weird little pillows that are supposed to like tilt your pelvis the right way. Guys, I don't know if this is just that I'm old. So before I was like sitting and standing a lot, and now I'm readjusting myself in the chair. But now I'm sitting a lot and my hips hurt. Am I just old? Like, is that what's going on? I don't like getting old. Hi, Scotty. How are you? I hope you are well. And Alex says, I need retroactive mental health from the trauma I received from pending and other trauma from the EDD. Same. I think we all need that, like group therapy and like ice cream and like lots of money. Like, seriously, like, I cannot believe how disorganized the EDD still is. Like, I can't believe that. You guys, since there's not more questions right now, I'm going to take this moment to show you guys Jenny Silver's book, which I also have. I believe I have this linked in the description down below. Let me put this one up from Family Dollar. Also, I'm surprised because Autism Awareness was really excited for the 9 p.m. stream, but I haven't seen them comment. So I hope they're able to pop in. Family Dollar says, how am I? I quit Family Dollar because it's a dreadful place to work. Because I quit, can I get another claim on EDD or no? So it's going to depend. Usually when you quit, you normally don't qualify for an unemployment claim. If you were let go or like something was going on in the workplace, like you might be able to, like, if you were able to like define what made it a dreadful workplace, and you can always try to file for unemployment benefits, but your employer, if you quit on your own, they most likely would say, hey, no, we didn't let them go. Like, we wanted to give them hours, we wanted to schedule them, but they left. So yeah, so that would be a possibility that they wouldn't approve your claim. Your employer could fight that, but they might not. And even if your old employer does fight it, and it's more than like 90% of the cases, the EDD will side with the employee and not the employer. Two-Face says, autism is the true epidemic. Many don't know that. Mothers of, Family Dollar says, you can define it. They reduced my hours dramatically, hence why I quit. So yeah, actually, if the hours are reduced through no fault of your own, then you can qualify for unemployment benefits, usually. But I don't know if once you quit because they reduced your hours, if in that case, they would be able to do it. My advice would be apply and let the EDD and your employer kind of sort that out. But at the same time, since there's not a boost on unemployment benefits, like, I would go ahead and start looking for other employment right now. I have a feeling that what you're experiencing is going on at a lot of businesses, because I think like they probably staffed up for like Christmas and the holiday season. And now that the holiday season is over, they don't need as many people. So that's unfortunate. I'm sorry that they reduced your hours. And good luck. I hope that they approve your claim. Yeah. Also, your benefit, your old benefit year does need to be over. For a lot of us, it was. We were on an extension anyway. But if for any reason you're not outside of your benefit year, you might not qualify yet for a new claim. Oh, all right. Let's see here. What else do we have? I don't know, but I am drinking this weird, it is called like avocado cucumber drink from Trader Joe's, and it's a little weird, to be honest. I put on ice and I added some pineapple juice, which made it a little bit better, but it's still kind of weird. It would oddly, I like really spicy stuff. It would oddly be better if it had a little bit of jalapeno in there. So, like if it tasted like a spicy margarita without the alcohol. I don't know. I like to try new things from Trader Joe's. What was the best thing about working at Family Dollar? Like, do you get like an employee discount if you work at Family Dollar? I'm kind of curious about that. And I'm not sure that we have any Family Dollars. We in Southern California, we have Dollar Tree and we have the 99-cent store, but I'm not sure about that. Let's see what Scotty has to say. Scotty says, you got your phone stolen the past month and still waiting on the SIM card, but got the new phone in the mail today. So you can still use it on Wi-Fi, at least for now. That is terrible. Where was your phone stolen from? You guys, be careful. Like, theft seems to be up right now, and be kind to each other, even at work, right? I go to work I'm guilty of this sometimes too. I get really frustrated. I'm like, so and so didn't do X, Y, and Z last night. And that's because like so and so had like a really horrible night. So I usually like to try and think the best of people, but sometimes I get frustrated too when something's not done. And then like they tell me what happened with their night and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I totally understand that." But like they probably shouldn't even have to tell me that they had a bad night for me to give them the benefit of the doubt. So something I'm working on. But be kind to one another. I'm so sorry that happened, but also be like aware and lock your doors, definitely lock your doors, roll up your windows, all that stuff, even if it's just for a minute right now. The Big Cheese says, I'm eating some Havarti cheese with premium crackers. Cheese, so good. Trader Joe's has so good stuff. They sure do. I love cheese. I love cheese and I love pickles and Taco Bell. I'm a classy girl. Scotty said, you got pickpocketed or it fell out of your pocket on the train to work. That is just the worst. Oh, that's the worst. Hi, Jenny. Jenny, don't forget to post that resume video. Oh, girl. Yeah, I'm still working on that. Work has gotten crazy. Again, I worked from about, not today, but I worked from 5 p.m. to 4:26 a.m. So I am making a resume video. It's with this wonderful content creator. Her name is the HR Plug. And I am embarrassed to say how long ago I filmed this. I've been working on it a long, long time. And I was almost done with it. So it's like an hour and a half long video. And it's really good. I think it's interesting. But I was like, YouTube doesn't favor hour and a half long content generally. So I was like, I want her to be like really successful. It is almost done. Jenny's saying, I thought it was almost done. So it is. So it's a really long piece. And my vision was to break it down into like between 3 and 5 shorter videos and then release it as one long video to anybody that wants to watch it. So I'm hoping to get multiple pieces of content out of it. And I think when we had met up, I had like one short piece is ready. And then, oh, her name is the HR Plug. I don't know if I finished saying that. So check out the HR Plug's channel. She's amazing. She's got really great energy, really nice person. All of you guys, if you need HR, resume writing advice, tips on employment, she's great for all of that. So I had the one video made and then the one long piece exists. And the one video that's made has like all the overlays and all the things that I want to insert. And then the long piece wasn't separated into like the 3 other videos. That is now done. I think it's all separated, but I still on the other 3 videos and on the long one, like I want to add in like some fun stuff. And so that's why it hasn't come out because adding that takes a while. I'm trying to get familiar using iMovie, which should be really simple, but I'm just not used to it yet. So it's taking a little bit longer. And then work is crazy. Guys, when you work a shift from 5 a.m. to 4:26 in the morning, even if you have a day off, like it messes up your off time. It's crazy. She's been really understanding about me getting that piece of content out. And then there's stuff that I want to do that just takes longer than I think it should. But maybe my expectations are not accurate. Jenny, are you getting these weird spam comments? I'm going to put this on screen. This is like, are you getting these? This is absolutely a spam comment. So I got to block this person. But like, what is up with that? Why are those coming through? So annoying. Um, so yeah, it is almost done. I think it will be done this week. It will be done this week. And then I have another one with another wonderful person. Her name is Jackie Caves, and it's the same thing. It's like an hour and a half long piece, and I want to cut it down and get multiple pieces of content out of it and then kind of release it because that should help. You know how YouTube is. YouTube likes similar kinds of content, like boom, 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 right in a row. So I'm hoping that if I do that, like it'll also help with engagement for her. So the HR Plug and Jackie Caves, and I need to get off my caboose and get those done. It's gonna happen. I think sometimes those are excuses. It's tricky. My work schedule makes it really hard. And then like this past Thursday, I had a day off and I worked for 3 hours on my day off. It's just crazy. And then house stuff is going on and life. If I really, I gotta get it done. Okay, Alex said, I once had my phone and wallet stolen by your grinder date once. People are thieves sometimes, and it's terrible. They really are. And be careful of any dating app. Please, like, go in person. At least you weren't Tinder swindlered. Has everybody watched that now? Sometimes, like, just to have things in common with my coworkers, I'll go and watch things. So I watched the Tinder swindler while I was also doing some work. So I had it like running in the background. That's crazy. Like, who has that kind of money? Okay. Um, black. Oh, no, 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 no. What? Okay. Well, thank you, but your username has me very concerned. So I'm going to even take that off screen. Like, I don't know. Okay, Linda, I think those are in fact spam comments from Russia or something pretty scary. Yeah, and guys, also there's another Shelly's Millions impersonator out there. Please keep in mind, I'm never going to ask you to contact me. Like, I do have a website now that Jenny made for me. It's shellysmillions.com. So my official email is on there. And unless like you hear me address you on one of my live streams and ask you to send something to me on Instagram, like I'm not going to ask you for anything. Like I would be like, "Hey, Jenny, can you send me instructions on how to do Pinterest on Instagram?" I think I have those. They're recorded somewhere. That's the part I'm most excited for is to like start pinning stuff, but I don't know. I have the templates, but I don't know what to do with them at all. I think you covered that though, and I think I recorded it. I just have to find that in the video. Yeah, so technology. Okay, Jenny is looking forward to seeing, we'll just put it up even if it's not it has no overlays though. It doesn't have like any speech and there's like fonts that she mentions like that you should use when you're writing your resume. And so I really feel like those need to go on screen. It definitely is it's not perfect, but like there's stuff that like definitely should be there and it won't take very long. I just have to watch, like, and when you're looking at an hour and a half long piece, even once it's like split up, I just feel like it's taking a long time. But like I at least need to add the fonts in there in there, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess I wouldn't have to, but like I at least want to do that. Like I want to list the fonts, which shouldn't take very long, but it does. Like if you have this YouTube tip for me, that would be great. How, like, do you have any tips for how I should like mark the video so that I can just come back to the spot that I want without totally rewatching the entire project? Because that's where I'm at with it now is that I don't know, like I know we talk about that and I know I want to put it on screen and I do know how to watch it like faster. I didn't at the beginning, but I do now. So I know how to watch it faster so I can get to that point faster. But like there has to be a way to like mark it so that I know, like, oh, this is where I want to come back and put this in. I don't know. Where's the guy that helped me with my iPhone? Joseph. I haven't seen him in a while. I bet he knows. And I really, Jenny, also, I'm just gonna talk to Jenny now for a second. Ooh, you're probably not ready. I am using Streamlabs though, which I think means I can invite in a guest like randomly. But we're also like near the end of this stream too. I don't even remember what it is that I need to know at this point. There's lots of stuff that I don't know on YouTube that I need to learn how to do. But I do think that there's a way to mark those projects so that you can come back in. In Premiere, you can drop a marker, but you're not sure in iMovie. Well, maybe I'll still Google like I'm like marker. I'm gonna write that down. I didn't roll over there. I know you like that. Jenny, to anybody popping in right now, she still hasn't received her PUA proof of like that her documents have been accepted. Okay, a marker. How to drop a marker in iMovie. How to drop a marker in iMovie. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, I definitely need to so that I know where I want to come back and put things in. And then it's weird too. Like I filmed something else that's a little more time sensitive. I actually have 2 other things that I filmed that were time sensitive. Although, I made a video just like updating people on the ED's hours, and it was one of my worst performing videos anywhere. So guys, if you want to watch that video, maybe I will drop that in chat. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. I can. Here we go. We're going to drop a video that just bombed in chat. It's 2 minutes. So if you guys want to watch that, oh, am I sharing this screen? Am I? I don't know. It's okay. You guys can see this. Get shareable link. StreamYard. No, I'm not sharing it. There. There's the link to the video that bombed yesterday. Okay, let's see here what Eddie says. You didn't work last year, only collected unemployment. Do I qualify for a tax return or do I owe taxes? So again, I'm not a tax professional, and everyone's tax situation is so individual. Like, did you have dependents? You're telling me that you didn't go back to work. You actually, here's what I recommend, right? You might not legally have to file, but I would file just to have that record, just in case there's any stimulus benefits that you would be eligible for. Most of those, the requirements are that you have filed your taxes. So I would just do it just to do it. With that said, I think there's a couple of programs. There's something called Free Tax USA. I believe that for a simple tax return through H&R Block or TurboTax, the like big guys and Liberty Tax, I think that they have a free file version. And you can even go, TurboTax has this thing called Taxcaster, TAX space CASTOR, Taxcaster, and it predicts how much of a refund you'll get or how much you would owe. So you can go, and even if you don't use Taxcaster, any of those things, you can go and you can pretend like you're filing your taxes. You can get all the way up to the last step. You don't pay at the beginning. Like, it tells you what your refund is or the amount you owe is. And at that point, you can decide to go ahead and, like, if there's a fee, pay that fee. Or anyway, it still tells you like how much your refund is going to be or how much you owe before you get to the point where you would have to submit other information. So I would recommend doing that and see. If I just guess, if you're single, no dependents, but you didn't do any other work last year, I definitely, in my opinion, and again, not a tax professional at all, so it would be best to ask one of them, you probably wouldn't owe. Okay, Tony, will there be an unemployment tax break last year? No, they are not talking about that. So there's not really a reason to wait to file your taxes. I would go ahead and do it now if you have everything together. But just because there's not like tax forgiveness on an amount, last year they forgave the first $10,200 that we would owe on our unemployment benefits. And again, in the state of California, you only owe federal taxes on unemployment benefits. You don't owe state taxes, which is good. But yeah, like, you might not end up owing anything, and you might end up getting a refund depending on your own tax situation, even without them forgiving the first $10,200 like they did last year. Jenny, you're moving. Does that mean you got the house? Does that mean your dad's house sold? I hope I'm not giving away secrets. Anyway, congratulations. I'm really excited for you. I can't wait to see pictures of the new house. And yeah, that is amazing. When are you moving? Okay. Eddie, you're welcome. Views by Shawnee. Hello. Jenny, I don't know if you're still in here. I thought Views by Shawnee might want to be like a scuba dive instructor, because I thought that was like a scuba diving picture. And then they let me know that it's just a picture that they liked. And that's okay. It's okay to like the ocean, even if you don't know how to dive or swim. Why aren't they doing tax forgiveness? Most had to wait a long time to get money back from last year. I think that the government, the federal government, the mostly Republican parts of the government, they were under the impression that like the economy is good again and they don't need to forgive us that money. That's why, more or less. I'm sure there's a lot more behind the scenes to it, but they saw that the unemployment rate is low, meaning most people they think have gone back to work. I don't think those numbers quite reflect the whole picture, but that's the numbers that they're being fed, that they're choosing to believe. Um, and the reason why I say that, like, I'm not just like some crazy like conspiracy theorist person on that. They use something called the insured unemployment rate and not the true unemployment rate. So those numbers have a big discrepancy in them. And I think if they were using the true unemployment rate, which is a much more accurate picture of what's really going on, then I think that they might not think that the economy was doing so good. But then they also look at things like spending, and we're spending a lot of money. So they think, oh, good, the economy's fine, and the American people don't need more tax forgiveness on their unemployment benefits. And then they don't give us one. So that's why. Okay. Richard says everybody's taxes are different. Use the right thing or you'll end up in the wrong. And owing the IRS and California state. Yes. But there are some people that don't need to file. Like, and this is something that Jenny Silver gets a lot more on her channel because she has more self-employed individuals than I do. For self-employed people, if you make more than $400 in self-employment benefits, you need to file taxes. But there is a threshold where if you didn't earn more than that or didn't have income of higher than that, where you wouldn't need to even file taxes. Let me see if I can find that right off the IRS website. But yeah, it's always better to file, do everything on the up and up, and then go from there. Laura says, are appeals still taking 3 to 6 months for a response? Yes, as far as I know, they are really, really far behind, and it is still taking that long. I'm going to just Google, do you have to file taxes if you make less than 10,000 is what it says. Okay. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right to this. There's a lot of different. Okay. So, and this is how I think people got confused with the need to file taxes on their self-employment when they made more than 400. Okay, so we're going to share screen, and where is it? We are going to, this is from H&R Block. I don't know if this is the best one, but this is what we're going to share. And I'm going to read that for you guys. Okay. Oops, that's not the right thing. We don't need this. Okay, scenario 1. So here's where it's simple. If you have regular employment, meaning you work for another person or business and receive a W-2, and no one else can claim you on a federal tax return, you can use this chart to determine whether you need to file a return. Here's how. So if you're single and you're under age 65 and you made less than $12,200, then you would not need to file your taxes. But this is for sure how people got confused and didn't file their self-employment taxes. So let's go to that section next. Okay, scenario 2, you're self-employed. The rules are different if you work for yourself or as a contractor, meaning you get a form 1099 instead of a W-2. Or if like you're your own employer, maybe you don't get a 1099 from yourself. You must file a tax return if your net earnings from self-employment were 400 or more. So consider that you may be 36-year-old single and make less than 12,000 a year. That would be the scenario for an employer in regular unemployment income. But if you have a side business that nets you more than 399, you need to file a federal tax return. And then what's this third scenario? This third scenario is you owe the government. And you guys can see, but I'm on the H&R Block website. Even if you don't meet any of the income criteria, you may need to file if you owe a special recapture tax to the government, among other things that would include repaying the home buyer's tax credit, taxes on tips you didn't report to your employer, household employment taxes, such as for a nanny, although you may not need to file a full tax return. Okay, and then there's all this other stuff. And it's different for if you're a dependent as well. What is it different if you're dependent if you're self-employed? Doesn't necessarily seem to say. Anyway, so there may be a few situations. So this person, if they didn't do anything from self-employment and they made less from unemployment than $12,200, then they might not have to, but I think they should. That's my opinion. Okay. All right. Caesar is saying, I filed January 31st and IRS accepted the same day. Still nothing. And it's February the 28th. So I just saw an article this morning about like kind of the schedule. Employees being a jerk. We just reopened the bar and he was like, does it affect the vodka? I'm gonna smack him. So this article that I'm actually reading from Claimer, I got a text from them. It says if you file January 24th, January 31st, February 7th, and February 14th, now it's of course Claimer is saying you need to call the IRS, and Claimer calls for you. I don't necessarily think that's true. There are a list of like 7 reasons that could delay your tax return. Let me see if I can find that somewhat quickly. Now I'm Googling on the same tab I'm sharing. Reasons your tax, not your period, your tax return can be delayed. Let's see here. Bloop, bloop. All right. Oh, okay, there's 6 reasons according to this. We don't want them to show me notifications. Can I just close that? Yes. Okay. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing with you guys. I am. Sorry, I'm all close to the screen. I can read funny. I can't read funny. I look funny when I'm reading this close. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Where are the reasons? Here are some of the reasons. Blah, blah, blah. Where are you? Oh, no. Okay. I was like, this is going to be one of those things that makes me click 900 things. Okay. Your tax return has errors or is incomplete. Okay. But we're going to read this part right here. Okay. Also, if you received child tax credit payments last year, make sure the amount on letter 6419 matches the amount you received. If an incorrect amount is entered, the IRS will need to further review your tax return, which the agency says will result in an extensive delay. So you need to make sure those 2 amounts are the same. What else does it say? If your banking information is incorrect, so it wants to know, have you changed bank accounts since you last filed? If so, make sure that your direct deposit information is correct. If you filed a paper tax return, saying this year they're encouraging you to do it electronically and set up direct deposit. With mail delays, it could take a while to receive your check. Oh, it could take them a long time to receive it and even longer to issue a paper check. You filed for the child tax care credit or earned income credits. This says if you filed in January and you also, I lost my place because I switched back. The earliest you could, okay, let me read this. You filed for the child tax credit or earned income credit. If you filed your return in January and included the child tax credit or earned income credit on your taxes, by law, the earliest you can get a refund is mid-February. Oh, but it's already March. This is to give the IRS more time to prevent fraudulent refunds from being issued. Assuming there aren't any errors, the IRS expects most taxpayers claiming these benefits to begin receiving their refunds in their bank accounts by March 1st, which guess what, guys? March 1st is tomorrow. So that would be good news. If they suspect identity theft, or if your return needs to be reviewed further. So those are all things that could delay. Okay. Araceli says, I called the EDD so they can reverse my documents. They were rude and said, you're lucky you got what you needed. Now you need to pay us. That is terrible. I wish that there was a way to like get their name. That makes me really mad. That burns my behind. They shouldn't say things like that. You did an affidavit and they said it needed dates and you didn't, you added only years. In that case, I would recommend calling and seeing if you get a nicer tier 2 representative. I would just say, hey, I called yesterday. They told me I needed specific dates and I only put years. I'm happy to add those dates. I have those dates for you now. If I tell you the specific dates, can you add that for me? Or can you add back the buttons so that I can upload these documents? And worst case scenario, if they say that they're not able to do that, in that case, what I would do is, you will want to send a revised affidavit with that appeal form. You do need to make sure to send in the appeal form within that 30-day time frame if you speak to another rep and they're not able to help you. And I'm so sorry about that. That really stinks. They shouldn't say things like that. Like, they should be kind. Also, if you do get to the point where you have to send in the appeal, one, don't miss the 30-day deadline to send it back in. But number two, in addition to adding specific dates, I'm rolling my eyes not at you, but at like their like request for that. But do include that on your affidavit. Also, if you have any receipts, like purchases from Amazon, from the dates that they're asking for, or if you happen to have receipts for anything else that you bought for your business in the dates they're asking for, send those in. If you find text messages or emails from the person you were going to work for, send those in, even if it's just like a screenshot or a printed screenshot. If you need to, screenshots of any deposits made, like with notes that's like, this is for cleaning my house in January, like then they could be like, yeah, I was going to clean their house in February too, but they said they weren't comfortable having me in their home due to the pandemic and they didn't want to write an affidavit for me. Anything else that you can send to the EDD to further validate your claim is going to be helpful. Justine stopping by to just say hi. You still have the button. They say, even though I upload, it won't reverse it. I would really speak to another representative. That just sounds awful. I'm really sorry about that. That's terrible. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to close this out. Yeah, I don't have any other information for you guys today. So thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like the video, please. Thank you.